think there's also, and also, have you ever seen a man who's trying to give up smoking?
I think totally opposite of you.
Really?
Well, I think I'll do it. That's what I.
But there are a lot of younger men who say that now, don't they?
There are, yes,
you know,
you're right.
Also, if the men got pregnant, I don't think that I would give everything up. I think, especially now as being a sober person, there is naught worse than someone drunk when you're sober.
Did you give up booze when you were pregnant with Louis?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I mean,
but he was there at the first. Well, he might have been there at the first place.
You know, don't eat blue cheese and don't do this and don't do that and don't smoke and don't...
Yeah, but you wouldn't expect somebody not to have a...
You can't have that.
Nowadays, you know, modern man is capable of understanding the emotions that a woman goes through when she's pregnant.
I think they've got no choice. I mean, the woman is there, isn't she, screaming at him. And that's before the labour. You three for a start. So, I mean, it is a big shock.
I got very anxious because hours and hours and hours later he hadn't returned. And then at what point...
Good for Tim.
Yeah. Well, I was the same. My husband went out and got very drunk.
Now, you've heard what we think. Now, we want to know your opinion on the matter. We're conducting an online poll, and we want to know if you would expect your partner to give up their vices during your pregnancy. Go to our website and cast your vote. The poll closes at 1:10 today, and we'll announce the results later on in this show. Still to come, as J.K. Rowling says, she felt stigmatised for being a single mum. It's competition time and we're giving away the equivalent of £2,000 every month for a whole year. That's a total giveaway of £24,000. Just get this right for your chance to win the lot. Welcome back to Thursday. It's Liz Swimming. Now, according to the papers today, author J.K. Rowling has revealed the slowly evaporating sense of self-esteem she felt after being stigmatised as people calling her the unmarried mother. But despite all this, J.K. says she is prouder of my years as a single mother than of any other part of my life. So, should there be any pride in being a single parent, do you think? Dante, what do you think?
Well, I personally don't think that there's any stigma whatsoever. I've got certainly, whenever he has friends who are the children of single parents, or he never comments on it. It's never like...
I hear of the terrible stories we hear now. Surely that's the only thing that matters. Yeah. The only thing
that has gone. I mean, my mum was a single parent with the three of us from when I was only 3 weeks old, and then I was a single parent. So I know all of the names that have been called. You know, my mum was called, and certainly, you know, people looking down on me.
Did you feel that though?
60s, absolutely.
And she was single through no fault of her own.
Through no fault of her own, because my father had gone off with somebody else, but she had 3 children to bring up and no money and so on and so forth. And she said that she always tells me the story. She said, I remember going into the little post office, and we lived in a small town in North Wales, and she'd just got a job because she was a secretary, my mum, as the school secretary at the local primary school. And somebody just looked at her, kind of looked her up and down and said, in the shop, and said, how on earth did you get that job? You know, because she was a single parent, not because of any other reason. And that was back in the 60s, and so things have changed. Thank God they've changed. I mean, really. But do you think that, you know, like J.K. Rowling says, she's prouder of those years?
I don't think
that if there are children, I think everybody would probably agree. They're irretrievably broken down. You know, an unhappy home.
But do you think it's important? I mean, my kids were children of a single parent, and obviously, as I said earlier, I was too. But do you think that it really is important, like you said, Jane, that there is this male role model around? I mean, my father was nowhere to be seen.
Well, you've turned out all right, haven't you, brain box?
But you have turned into Carol Vorderman, because, you know, and I'm sure that has come from your mother having to deal with everything on her own. I mean,
is that good? Because sometimes I think that's not good.
But the point is, though, there are also relationships that are 2 men and 2 women. You know, what matters here is the love and the care and the nurture of a child. Not, you know, not whether there's a man doing it or a woman doing it. I did it mostly on my own, and, you know...
out there.
Yeah, they do. I think it is, you know, a matter of feeling alone, and it is, you know, I mean, my mum and I are so close. You know, we've lived together all my life. She was trying to get rid of me, now I'm trying to get rid of her, but it's and we're very close. Queen Jean and yourself and so on.
Yes.
But I do feel that the fact that my father wasn't around when I was young did have an influence on me, and I don't think it was necessarily a good thing, to be perfectly honest. So it's all very well to say, oh yes, I'm...
But I mean, it is. I know you've got an email to do with the attitudes, because my late mum, bless her heart, we discovered through hunting through an old...
No, isn't it?
She would just never, ever... She just never wanted it discussed. It had called...
OK Rowling, she's not done badly for herself.
She's not done badly.
Exactly.
OK. Still to come, who's it going to be today? It's anybody's guess. Impressionist Alistair McGowan is here, and she's single and ready to mingle, telling us about life after Joey Essex's Towie star Sam Fayers. Competition time, and if you fancy boosting your wages by an extra £2,000 every month for a whole year, then listen up, because we're giving away an amazing £24,000. To be in with a chance of winning, just answer this question correctly. Welcome back to Thursday's Loose Women. Still to come, he always makes... Now, it's been a long, boring summer for all Towie fans out there because they haven't had their weekly dose of Essex life. But fear not, the BAFTA-winning reality show will be back on our screens for a 10th series, can you believe, next month, promising to be as colourful and memorable as the last. I mean, who could forget this? The woman herself, Sam Fayers. Well, that was interesting, that little conflict.
I hate that little clip.
What do you hate about it?
I just think that was like the worst.
Yeah, Joey.
Are you together or not?
No.
No.
Yeah, on Celebrity Juice.
Oh, did you?
Yes, on the programme, on ITV2 tonight, yeah.
He didn't mention you, though, so you're all right.
Yeah,
Do you get worried, though, with it being an ex? And because you've had more than one ex, because
You wouldn't have done all that.
exactly. Yeah.
No, we don't.
Not
yes, it was filmed.
No, you mean on the show?
On the show,
yeah. No, because you know what? That was series 1, so all those little things like Liver Jazzle, that's what...
Restricting, then, if most of your working day is spent with people that you already know and that you've either been out with or not been out with, I mean, why can't you just get out there and find somebody else to go out with who doesn't live in Essex?
Well, you can.
They'll, of course, have other ideas about that, won't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over there, I want you to go and speak to him. You have to do all that.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, they've got
Exactly. There.
Restricted by what the producers, you know, whoever the producers pick from some modelling brochure, or whatever they're called.
if you don't fancy him, you don't fancy him. Like, they tried to set me up the last series.
Did you tell him? Do you on air? Do you say, James, I don't like you?
Yeah, I said, yeah.
And you are working and promoting...
Everyone's different, but there's always something that triggered it, if you know what I mean. But I've had, like...
Lovely young lady, and if I might be so bold, I think you got a bit more up there than Joey, because when they was I mean, he didn't win the competition last night. I think she's fantastic.
Yeah,
yeah, so all the best in Vegas.
Thank you.
You show.
Thank you.
All right, competition time now, and if you'd like to get your hands on a whole lot of cash, then listen up, as we're giving away a secret salary of a massive £24,000 in tax-free cash. Just answer this question correctly and you might be in the money. But first, Katie Price has revealed that somebody has been arrested after a collection of sexually explicit and intimate photos of her, and unrealistic to expect saucy snaps to remain private. Obviously, she's concerned about this.
Well, the thing is, you know what? And it disappears. It's gone up there in the ether, and somebody will find it, and it will be seen. So
This has to do with a few beers, and back in the day,
That's
in
what I'm
all
saying,
different things end up in the blooming
and then
newspapers.
it goes all the way round, and then they...
I know, because I don't know where these things go, as you say, into the ether.
You won't get your bits out.
No, I won't.
To take it to Boots. That's the way to do it.
I know, they were great, weren't they? But I
you've
think,
never done it, Jane.
Well, I think that snapshot, you know...
So you've never taken a photo of Ed in the bath or anything like that?
Moving on, AJ.
Moving on, yeah.
Talking of naughty pictures, apparently we're about to see a whole lot more of Kate Moss. She turns 40 in January and will... I don't see the problem with that myself. But is this a wrong message for a mother to be giving? Because obviously she has a little girl, doesn't she?
Oh, don't get me on embarrassing me. If it's tastefully done, then I think there's nothing wrong with celebrating. I'm getting so old that no one's asking me anymore.
If you're a mum, I think it's quite difficult. And I've never done it, and nobody's asked me.
You know, it would be great to have that...
Right now. But still to come, we'll be chatting to the master of mimicry. I've got time to tell you what's coming up on tomorrow's show, telling us all about... Welcome back to Loose Women. Now, earlier in the show, we were talking about Simon Cowell smoking next to pregnant girlfriend, Lauren Silverman. Partners to give up their vices if you were pregnant. And I can reveal that how many % would expect their partners to give up their vices? 40% of you would expect it, and 60% thought it'd be more than that.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. You won on that one, Jane, I think. Yeah. Now, it's hard to believe. It's been 8 years since our next guest was making audiences laugh with his BAFTA-winning show, The Big Impression. The David Beckham and Tony Blair impersonations might be a thing of the past, but now he's back on the box, it seems no one's safe.
Can I just say at this point...
Brilliant. Please welcome him, Mr. Alistair McGowan!
Thank you.
I love that.
You like that? Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
He wasn't keen on it himself, actually, that bit.
Is he an easy impression to do?
Let's go, because, I mean,
Yes.
that's the great thing about TV. I mean, it just brings new...
Voice.
Not just a pretty voice, that's a good time.
Yeah.
But one, yes, absolutely. Thank you very much. Yes, very popular with this audience, of course. Yeah. But
That was soap stars as well, like if you soap characters, because once they've gone, the character's gone.
Do you have to like your subjects in order to do impressions of them?
yeah,
You do?
you do really. Yeah.
Really glad.
When he, at the end of every sentence, he'll just close his eyes.
With Northern.
Well, Kate, you know what?
To chef. And everything about his voice is about being...
In the mouth, you mean?
For instance, somebody like Alan Teach.
Coming in. So it's not just a Pretty Voices touring now until December?
Yes, I'm in Wellingborough tonight, and then Chorley, Lancaster.
Oh,